Hello. Okay, so we are starting now. I am Stars Tina, and I want to welcome each and every one of you. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to plan a successful event. So, events, experiences. Experiences are events. That's how I see it. Have you ever had an idea in your head that you wanted to get out? Maybe you went to an event, a fashion show, a party, a conference, and you thought, wow, I could do that better. Or maybe you thought they should have did this or they should have did that. Has anyone ever felt that before? Can you relate with me? Well, I always say, if you have an idea, if you have a thought and it's on your heart, well, then God gave that to you and it is your gift. It is your job to get it done. Yes, it can be a little bit scary. You may think you're not able to do it, but I want to just give you the idea and the thought to think of a mustard seed. Do you actually know how big a mustard seed is? Someone said to me, Tina, you just have to have the faith of a mustard seed. And someone actually gave me one. And 2 verses in the Bible, if you want to do some research on it, Matthew 17:20 and Luke 17 talk about the faith of a mustard seed. So if there's something in your heart, an event, an experience that you want, have the faith and push through with it. Now, today I'm going to give you about 5 steps so that you can create that ultimate event that may have been burning in your heart, burning in your soul, but you're a little nervous, you're a little scared. Okay, here we go, crew. Are you ready? There's a couple things you're going to need before you get this event going. First of all, you have to have a winner's mentality. You have to have a championship mentality. Why is that? Because you got to be strong, right? You got to be courageous. Now, the very first thing that you need to do to have a successful event is figure out what you want, what type of event. There's various events you can have, from conferences, weddings, let's see, there's so many that are getting out of my head right now. My favorite types of events are entertaining, like fashion shows or pageants, something where I'm gonna laugh, comedy shows. Maybe you're a business type of person and you wanna do empowering events. There's also events of, I say they wanna be deep to your heart, something that's going to touch not only you, but the people that come to those events. And I am always doing events. I think because I came from a big family, that's why I really like doing events. And once you figure out what you want and why you want it, it makes it so much easier. Your why, when you do the event, has to be super strong, super up here. Because if not, you're not gonna give it all the effort, all the energy that it needs. For example, every February, I do an event the end of February to honor my son. This February, it's gonna be 7 years that he's been gone. And then in August, I do another event. That's his birthday. That's the type of event that I enjoy doing to make me happy at a sad time. Maybe you're that person and you want to empower women. So decide what type of event and then why you want to do it. The second tip, which is so important, this is probably the most important tip, is find your team. Create your team, and you have to make sure they have the same mentality as you do. They're not lazy. They understand what the project is. They understand what you want. Also, it's super important that you're specific with the details of what you want them to do. For example, if one person's in charge of marketing and promotions, well, make sure you give them all the information that's needed for the event, when it is, where it is, why it is, all that stuff. So tip number 2, as I mentioned, is create your team and keep them on top of everything all the time, and have weekly meetings with them. Super important. The third tip, to have a great event, a successful event. And again, what is success to you? It varies for different people. For some people, a successful event could be 1,000 people in a room. For another person, a successful event can be small amount of people, but the quality of the people are there. And that's what I love. I love quality because I want to make sure everyone's on the same board. They have the same mindset going in with it. So that second tip is create your team and everyone's all together. Third tip, another one that's pretty important, the funding. Where's the money coming from? Decide on, are you going to pay for it out of your pocket? Are you going to raise money? Are you going to donate? Are you going to sell tickets? That's important because if you want a successful event, if you don't have any money, it's going to be a little challenging to have a good event without enough money. Trust me, I've done plenty of them. I've done events with no money at all, where I was like, okay, I have to sell X amount of tickets, or maybe I did a barter system. So decide in the beginning how much you need also. So say, for example, it's $1,000 for everything. And you say, well, I'm going to charge $25 a ticket. Well, then you know you have to sell 40 tickets. That's your break even. And I don't know about you, but I want to do more than break even. You want to make money, right? Because we all want to go to the top. So funding, so important. And just to give you some tips, because I've done various events, you don't have to have a lot of money. If you have personality, if you have style, you can get anything you want. You can even get the location for free. Sponsors, so important. Doing raffles, selling food, having sponsors come, having vendors come, charging the vendors. So that's another way of how to get some funding for the event that you want. So important. Okay, here we go. Drum roll. We're getting near the end, guys. I hope you're learning something here. All right, number 5. These are all really good tips. I wish I would have known these tips years ago when I did events, but the marketing and promotions. So back when I used to start events, we would get flyers made. You know how you get a flyer and you put them on cars, you go in businesses, you put them on, make big posters. That was me. I was doing that all the time. But times are a-changing. It's all about that social media now. So you want to promote, you want to buy ads, and you want to make sure another super, super, super important tip is the title. You want to make sure you have a very eye-catching title. One of my favorite, best events that I did was a fashion show for kids. Back in the day when Tyra Banks had her TV show, America's Top Model, I did an event because I had a modeling studio. It was called Top Kids Model. Amazing. It was wonderful. I had a competition. It was a modeling competition for children. I had people fly in from California, Bermuda. I even went to California to try it and get it as a TV show. So make sure you have a really good title. So when you're marketing and promoting, people are like, wow, that sounds good. I want to be there. FOMO, fear of missing out. I have a bonus tip for you. It's not a number 6, it's a bonus because it's going to come. And it's pivot. 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 Be ready for something to go wrong. We always say hope for the best, but expect the worst. Trust me, something will always, at least for me anyway, go wrong. The photographer may not show up. Your speaker may get sick. The microphones may not work. There's so many things. So be ready for pivot and flow like the ocean. Flow like the ocean or like the clouds. That's what I say in life. You always want to just make sure you're constantly moving and going. So to conclude everything, to have a successful event, you have to have a winner's mentality. You have to know what you want to do and why. You have to have an amazing team, decide the type of event, and then the marketing, and then be able to pivot. So I hope these tools have helped you so that you can get that gift that's burning inside of you that God has to come out and change the world. Thank you.